I am a 37-year-old man child. I'm single. I don't have children, and I don't know if I ever will. Starting to lean more towards not having any. My goal with these videos, by the way, is not to like convince you of anything or I just want to like talk about my life. And if you can relate to it, that's cool, man. Cause I feel like uh I consume a lot of internet content and I watch a lot of creators that I really like them. I really like that they just get on here and say whatever. And it makes me feel good sometimes as a human because I feel like we are increasingly being isolated and just feeling the heaviness of technology and social media and the world and inflation's rising and we have all these conflicts. And so my overall goal is just to like make videos that like I'm just gonna like talk about how I'm feeling and hopefully you guys can relate and maybe get something out of it. Or, at the very least we can just sit here together and you can do what you're doing, sitting on your couch, maybe you're sitting outside, maybe you're having a beer, maybe you're fucking chilling with your family. But yeah, I'm a 37-year-old man child. And the reason this is interesting to me is because I love my life, dude. And I have not always felt that way. Like I've gone through some pretty serious depression and anxiety and just like not really feeling pumped on life. And that started when I was young, like when I was 14, 15, 16, and it's continued my whole life. But having said that, I will say that the past 10 years of my life have been some of the most challenging and hardest mentally, but also like definitely some of the most rewarding and the most that I feel like, Dan, you're doing like you're yourself, bro. Like that at the end of the day, because when I was younger, like in my 20s, I was on a track. I was on someone else's track. I was like really, I was like suit and tie, buying things that I thought people wanted, to look like an acceptable member of society, just watching TV shows that everyone was watching. And I feel like at my age of 37, I can confidently say like I have created this life that is mine. Like every aspect of the of my home is like me. Like everything on these walls, it's me at my core. And I'm glad that I didn't give up on myself and my dream to get there. Um, but at the same time, so the real reason I wanted to make this video was to talk about the duality of like living this life that I love and I created for myself and I'm really proud of myself, but also kind of feeling like I'm not really like living by societal standards. And that has definitely I would consider myself a sensitive person. So like if I hear someone like talking shit, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm someone who takes that hard. Like, oh, like shit, like damn, this person thinks like my lifestyle is wrong. Or I mean, at the end of the day, fuck fuck you. Like I'm both of those things. I'm gonna be like, ooh, that hurts, but I'm also gonna be like, well, yeah, fuck you, I'm doing this anyway. But yeah, I've always lived in this way of like I'm so glad that I followed my dream and created it. And it's not a crazy dream. I don't have freaking millions of dollars and Lambos and like models on my arm and stuff, but like I've created a life that I really like. And that for me is enough. Um, but at times I've struggled with the feeling of like, dude, you're 37 and like all your life is surfing and jumping rope and like taking photos of things. Like my life to an outsider might be pretty boring. Like it's very I don't really like to do a lot of social things because like I got my core friends. Like my homies are my homies and they know that and I've most of my friends I've been friends with for a very long time, so I'm not really like seeking a lot of new friendships. I have an amazing family that I'm very very close with and always have been, and like I get my fulfillment from those things. And so I've been happy just doing that. But my point is, outside of that, I kind of just like do my own thing, and I spend a lot of time alone. And most of my days, even on the weekends, dude, like I don't really go out. I don't really see anyone. I'll go surfing, and then I'll jump rope before or after that. By the way, that's not true. I definitely see people, but I think what I'm saying is I enjoy a life at 37 years old where I like don't have a lot of responsibility. Like I purposely created it that way, and I feel like sometimes I feel guilty for saying I don't like responsibility, but that's ultimately the truth. I love waking up and not knowing what I'm doing tomorrow. Like I'm just that I'm a kid, man. I'm a man child. I've always been this way too. Like I've always been excited on being free and not knowing who I'm going to run into or who I'm going to meet and how that's going to like affect my life down the road, you know. I love not having a routine. Some days I wake up at 5, some days I wake up at 9. I love just having a different day, having no routine. Like I love not having direction because like I have so much direction, if that makes sense. Like I'm so focused on making jump rope videos and progressing at surfing and being outside in nature and like living a slow life where, you know, some days, dude, I'll go shoot jump rope stuff for a little bit and then I'll spend like hours just wandering around walking. And I love that because I don't have to do, you know, I used to work, I've done everything from blue collar jobs to sitting in an office, white collar jobs. And I remember always, especially the white collar, when I was working in an office in New York, I remember like when I'd get a half day or when I'd like leave early and play hooky from work, like how awesome that felt to be like out of work on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. and like, you know, just in some park doing something, whatever I want to do. And now I like have created that life where if I want to just wander around for a few hours, I can. And that brings me that freedom, I think brings me a lot of joy. Um, and by the way, I'm not trying to convince you to like live my lifestyle or like not to have kids or any of that. I think I'm just like sharing my experience as someone who feels not like I don't feel super interested in having a relationship even in a traditional sense, and that's kind of new. Like I always used to be like more of a relationship person. Um, I love love, dude. But I love romance and love and affection. But for a little while, I've just felt very content without that connection. I feel like I've gotten a lot of what I need from friends and family, and the idea of being with someone, it's almost like I've created this life that I love so much that the anyone who comes into my life has to be like a freaking awesome an A player in their own life. Like they really have to have a life that they're psyched about. Um because that's what I have. And so I don't want someone who's going to like come in and leech off me for the energy that I have. So yeah, I think I'm at this place where I'm it's an interesting time because as a millennial, I think I grew up with the idea that you know, by 37 I'd kind of have a house, a couple kids, like my life would be planned out for me and I'd have this trajectory. And now at 37, like I don't really know. Like in I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to be interested in. I don't know if I'm going to live to be 150 or 50. Like it's there's so many unknowns with this kind of thing, but I think for the first time I feel excited about not knowing. Like I don't really care because life really is something that you live one day at a time. And if I can just be excited about my one day at a time, that's really the only goal that I have. Another thing that is very important to me is even though I don't want kids, I've always like loved kids and like I have a little niece and nephew and like I love being their uncle, dude. Like I think I love kids because I have always been a kid at heart. And when I was a little kid, I was always like, wait, why can't we have fun all the time? Like, I never understood why adults grow up and start acting like adults. Like, why, like, particularly when you're a kid, you're silly, you're playing around. Like, I was the class clown. I've always been a silly person, but that's never changed. Like, I never hit an age where I'm like, oh, yeah, it's time to be real serious. I mean, I guess I was headed that way after college because I thought you had to be serious because that's what I was told. But if I'm being honest with myself, I feel the same way inside as when I was 7 or 8 or 10 years old. Like, I still feel like life is this big, fun, interesting, unknown thing that you can find new ways to laugh, new things to laugh at, and enjoy, and adventures to go on every single day. Um, so I've always just been someone who's been against this whole like I was saying to myself the other day, you know how I think there's a, especially in Los Angeles, there's this like idea of the Peter Pan syndrome, which is like usually what women say about men who don't want to grow up. And my thought has always been like, I don't have Peter Pan syndrome. I am Peter Pan syndrome. And I know I'm like, being silly about it, but like, I feel like people have always talked about being a Peter Pan in a negative way. And I've never understood why that's negative. Like, I never understood why you can't just have fun your whole life. It doesn't make any logical sense to me. Like, the fact that we are even alive is insane. The fact that we are here on this spinning rock, that, by the way, trees just produce fruit out of the ground that you can eat. What? Like, and we're over here being all serious and worrying about, like, am I accepted into society because I have this car or this house? Like, what, dude? Like, we have all this amazing, awesome stuff, and we're worried about, am I working hard enough so that I look cool in front of my friends? Like, I'm not a bum. I'm not a bum, right? Like, I just think, if anything, my goal with this channel or anything I do is just to show younger kids, like, hey man, you don't have to listen to all these serious adults who want to like dim your light. Because I was that kid who like kind of got his light dimmed because people were always telling me like, Dan, get out of the classroom. You're being too loud. You're always talking. You're the class clown. Like, you're bad. You're bad. You're bad. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be acting this way. And now, listen, dude, if you're being an asshole and you're being rude to other people and you're not being a good member of society, then like that's different. But what I'm talking about is like just having the courage to live the way you want. Now, again, assuming that you're not harming others, but just to have the courage to live the way you want and enjoy it and not care about what other people think. That has always been and that you can still be successful in what society considers success, which is literally just money. That's what, when people say, it's so funny, like, if you have money and you've made your own money, like, let's say, I feel like people get a lot more scrutinized. Like, let's say you're broke and you're not married and you don't have kids. I feel like society kind of looks at you like you're literally worthless. But if you don't have kids and you're single and you're like, in your 40s or whatever, but you have money, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, you're accepted. You're accepted. Or like, if you know, are married and have kids, but even if you don't have a lot of money, it's like, okay, well, you're a good member of society. And I've always just thought that is so stupid. Um, because I think I just want young people, or when I pass and move on from this earth, I want this YouTube channel to still be around so that hopefully a young kid who doesn't know what to do with their life will look at this YouTube channel and see a silly guy who jumps rope for a living and be like, all right, dude, if that guy made his whole living doing that, then I can. Because that's how I look at like famous authors that I look up to, or like Hunter S. Thompson is one of my favorite authors. And I think about like that. I mean, okay, he did like very much abuse drugs and alcohol. So I don't look up to him in that way, but I look up to him as a man who like, who sat in a, who decided, instead of working for someone else, I love writing. So I'm going to spend my whole life sitting in rooms all over the world, fucking writing, dude. Like, that is like, he just decided that he was going to do that. And I have respect for people who are like, I watched a YouTube video yesterday about a National Geographic photographer who was trying to get a shot in like the Everglades, and he like stepped on a gator, and he ended up surviving, but like the gator sort of attacked him and then swam off. And I was like, dude, good for this guy. Like, this guy's life is like trudging through swamps to get these beautiful cinematic time lapses of things. Like, I just think that's so cool. So I think when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of, or I didn't think there was a lot of options available for what I was going to do with my life. And now that I'm someone who like makes YouTube videos on the internet and was able to buy a house because of it, I look at that as like, okay, I got to tell younger kids like, hey man, whatever your dreams are, like don't, they're not silly. Like you can do them, because most of society and most people are going to try to get you to act normal and fall in line. And I want people watching this channel to be like, no, I'm not going to do that, because I saw a Dan video and he was like, so thanks for coming to this therapy session with me. And I hope these videos are valuable. I hope that you get something from them. Even if you don't like them, I'll still probably make them because it's a good exercise for me. I feel like since my job is making, by the way, our main channel is Jump Rope Dudes. I teach jump rope. I help people lose weight and improve their athleticism with jump rope. I've been doing that for 10 years. That's another channel. So if you need like jump rope workouts and, information on nutrition or just like weight loss, then go to that channel. But I'll probably still make videos on this channel just because since I love making videos so much, like Jump Rope Dudes, I love what I do, but it's still like I'm making videos to make money. Whereas like I feel like this channel is kind of just my fun, like I'm just gonna talk to you guys and we're gonna see what happens. Maybe this could grow into its own thing, which I think would be really cool, because sometimes running a fitness company, like running a company where you have to constantly shoot workouts and post them, is pretty strenuous on your body. And I mean, I will probably jump rope until my knees give out. Hopefully, I'll be in my like 80s. Um, but also, it'd be nice to have another kind of outlet of creativity that could grow into something else where I don't have to use my body and I'm just yapping to you guys. Um, so, yeah, good talk. Give this channel a subscribe. Also, I would say let me know what videos you want me to make, but I probably won't listen. I'll probably just make what I want. Unless you give me some good suggestions. Give me some topics. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Anyway, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And yeah, let's keep having fun. See you on the next one.